These ideas, the founders' fundamentals and the values, were put in place when Dad and Jay were talking about their beliefs and what was on their mind when the business was started. And I think they stand the test of time because they give you a perspective that allows you to take input from other sources and make sense of it.
The founders' fundamentals and values are really the timeless truths, the foundation of what we believe as a company and what Rich and Jay believed in.
Independence was important to them. Hope for the future was important to them. And of course, providing for their family was always important to them.
And Dad and Rich grabbed that and they started building the Amway business on that.
When Rich and I started Amway in our basements of our homes, we had a dream. We dreamed that everyone should have the opportunity to be in business for themselves.
The fundamentals and the values are things that societies have been built around for centuries.
As you think about hope and you think about family and you think about freedom and you think about reward, those are how Rich and Jay thought about the business and their truest and most deepest beliefs.
They were so clear in what they believed in and what they believed in for others.
The goal of Amway is and has always been to see how many people we could reach and how many people we could help.
I think everything is at risk if you don't have principles to stand on. The founders' fundamentals and the values exist because we wanted to carry on the legacy of Dad and Rich.
If you look at the founders' fundamentals of freedom, family, hope, and reward, they are the basis of everything, and that's why they're timeless, because you can't just rip out and replace the keystone, right? These pillars are holding up the entire edifice.
Freedom is something you can only have for yourself when you are in turn willing to give it to another person.
The freedom to be what one wishes to be, to explore the full and exciting range of one's potential.
You know, we talk about the Amway business being a family business. It always revolved around the fact that if we could build the business aspects of Amway on the family idea, we would do something to make the world a better place.
Let's give everyone the right to live, to work, and to achieve, to become whatever their vision and efforts can make them.
We reward people for performance. Hallelujah for the opportunity to be rewarded on the basis of what I do, not on who I know or how long I hung around.
Once we had the foundation of the founders' fundamentals, the rest of us said, how do we make sure we express ourselves in a way that builds on those founders' fundamentals?
The founders' fundamentals are who we are. They're timeless principles, and the values go along with that. The values help us determine how we go about our lives, right? How we live it out.
The values are the way that we show up every day and the way that we present ourselves to people that interact with us on behalf of the company.
I feel like values are at the center of how do you live a good and purposeful life. And so for values, we have our personal worth, responsibility, integrity, and partnership.
The values speak to how you will engage with other people, whether it's employees, other business owners, family members. These are what we want to embody and how we want to treat other individuals.
So let's look carefully for a moment here at what we do and how we do it, so that we can maintain a level of integrity that makes us worthy.
The joy of talking about the founders' fundamentals and the values is to know that they've always been there with us and they'll always be there with us going forward from generation to generation. This is the legacy of this business that keeps us focused on our North Star.
As I'm getting more engaged, I feel a responsibility for carrying our values forward.
What gives me fulfillment is living the fundamentals and the values in what I hope is the manner that my grandfather intended them to be lived and continuing the legacy of this company.
Those fundamentals and those values help us stay focused on what's going to help somebody improve their lives through this business. This is who we are. This is how we go about life. This is our philosophy of how we treat people. That's never going to change.
We'll remain committed to our traditions and our bedrock beliefs and our goals and dreams.
Amway is an opportunity for people from all walks of life, rich or poor, young or old, black or white. We don't care what your education level is, where you come from. We said we wanted to build a business that anybody could start because we believe that most people, given a chance, would do something with it.
Let's give everyone this shining golden opportunity.